So we are on page 273 and 274. We're going to be correcting our homework. So here is page 273. So we started with number 4, and for the directions, it said without completing the division, so without solving the problem, shade a box to show the placement of the first digit of the quotient. Layla, did I write the wrong page number down for you yesterday? Okay, so turn to page 273 and you can just follow along with us. So for number 4, what we did was thought, okay, can 70 go into 5? The answer is obviously no. Can 70 go into 55? No. Can 70 go into 559? Yes. So we know the first number we'd put up top would be above the 9. What place is the 9s in? Raise your hand. What place is the 9 in? Zoe? The 10s place. So you should have shaded in the 10s place or put an X there. Questions on number 4. Okay. Then we had number 7, right? Okay, so number 7, we were doing the same thing. Without completing the division, tell in which place to write the first digit of the quotient. So we would have done the same thing for number 7. Can 61 go into 8? No. Can 61 go into 88? Yes. And so our first digit would go above the 8, which is in the hundreds place. Then we had number 11, right? Okay, so number 11, same thing. 75. Can 75 go into 6? No. Can 75 go into 68? No. Can 75 go into 688? Yes. So we would have put it above the second 8, which is in the ones place. All right. Then we had 13. So number 13, same thing. 17 can't go into 1, can't go into 16, but 17 can go into 169. So our first digit would go above the first 9, which is the tens place. Show me on your hands 1 through 5. How did you feel about just doing this? 1 through 5. How did you feel about determining where the first digit of the quotient goes? Jackal, show me on your hand 1 through 5. All right. Drew, what number, dude? 1 through 5? Awesome. Philip, what number? 1 through 5. You're showing me how you felt about this page. All right. Go ahead, put your hands down. All right. So then we had number 14 and number 20. So if we go on over to 14. Okay. So for number 14, it said, will the quotient 7,818 divided by 25 be greater than 100 or less than 100? How do you know? So first of all, everyone should have said greater. The reason being, if we do what we've been doing, just figure out where the first digit goes. 25 can't go into 7, but it can go into 78. So right away, we know the first digit will go in the hundreds place. But then we need to think, okay, what number is going to go in the hundreds place? Well, 25 going into 78, it can go in 3 times because 25 times 3 is 75. So there would be a 3 in the hundreds place. So we know that the answer would be greater than 100 because the digit in the hundreds place would be a 3. So my book said to explain 25 times 100 is 2,500 and 7,818 is greater than 2,500. Now, you could have also said, I know that the first digit will go in the hundreds place, and I know that the digit in the hundreds place will be a 3, so it has to be larger than 100. That would also work. Does anyone have a question about whether their explanation works? Anyone who's questioning their own explanation? Okay. How do we feel about number 14? Show me 1 through 5. How do we feel about number 14? Okay, cool. Okay. Did we feel good about determining if it'd be greater or less than? Yeah? Was it just the explanation that was a little iffy too? Okay, for some of us? Okay. Addie, does it make sense why it's greater? Okay. All right, so then we had number 20. Are we ready to move on to 20? All right. So then number 20, it said, in which place should you write the first digit of the quotient of 3,381 divided by 47 How can you determine that without using division? So everyone should have written the tens place. Reason being, 47 can't go into 3. It can't go into 33, but it can go into 338, and that 8 is in the tens place. How you explained it is up to you. You could have just explained what I just did. I tried putting it above the thousands, that wouldn't work. I tried above the hundreds, and then I tried above the tens. And so it goes into 338, but not 33 and not 3. So your explanation's up to you. Will? Yeah. Yes, that totally works. If you said that explanation, I think a few people use that explanation. Yeah, that 47 can't fit into 3 or 33, but it can fit into 338. That totally works. That works as an explanation. Are there any other explanations that anyone's questioning? Okay. So Layla, yesterday, all that we were doing is figuring out where is the first digit in our answer going to go. So like when you're figuring out, when you're dividing, we asked, can it go into 7? Can it go into 75? That's all that we were doing yesterday. All right, overall, entire homework assignment, show me 1 through 5. How did you feel about it? 1 through 5, the entire homework assignment, how did we feel? Cool. All right. Theosius, how did you feel, dude? Okay. All right, go ahead, put your hands down. And I would like you to open up to the next clean page in your math notebook. Just so you guys know, you can use the back of pages as like a clean page too, because usually our notes only take one side, right? So you can use the back of a note page as well. I haven't been doing that. But you can start if you wanted to. I forgot to remind you guys. We didn't ask you at the start of the year, and then you said just start on a fresh page. True. Since most of our notes tend to only take one side, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Yeah, and for spelling, you can use the back. Mm-hmm. You might want to use that for like scratch paper for homework though. Like in your math workbook. Ready to rock. All right, so we are going to get started with our notes for today. Waiting for your voices to be off. Waiting for your voices to be off. All right, so let me turn this light around. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so today we're titling our page. Why does it do that? Page 5.7, divide by 2-digit divisors. And today's date, which is 9/29/20. I wonder if I will. Let me use my flashlight. So 5.7 divided by 2-digit divisors, 9/29/20. Oh, that was it. Okay. Put a thumbs up when you have that title and today's date at the top ready to go. See a few people finishing up. See what you're thinking, oh, Miss E, we've been using 2-digit divisors for a while now. Yes, we have. We're going to practice it at least a little bit more today. Because a lot of your homework also was having just 1-digit divisors. And so now we're just really getting just 2-digit divisors. Or 2-digit numbers that we're dividing by. Yeah. We're actually solving. Yep, we are actually dividing today. Yesterday we were practicing, where does the first digit of the quotient go? Today we are actually solving them. All right, are we ready to move on? Yeah. Okay. So, we do have vocab. So, we're going to label our vocabulary section. Put that up a little bit for you. We do have vocabulary today, so label your vocabulary section, please. All right, so first word is divisor. That's the number we divide by. Well, you can look on to Phillips to see what the title is. So the divisor is the number we divide by. Remember when I use a hashtag for like math vocab, it stands for the word number. So it's the number we divide by. Okay, so the divisor is the number we divide by. Then we have the dividend, and so we're going to have like an example problem that labels all these parts. Then we have the dividend. That's the number we are dividing up. So if you have like 200 divided by 50, we're dividing up the 200. That would be the dividend. And if we're dividing by 50, the 50 is the divisor because that's the number we're dividing by. So the divisor is the number we divide by. The dividend is the number we are dividing up. And we have one more after this one, and then our example problem. A few people finishing up. Keep your masks on, please. All right, we ready to move on? Okay, I'm going to give you another moment. Voices. All right. Then the last one, we've talked about this one a little bit. Quotient. That's the answer to a division problem. So whenever we have a division problem, these are the three parts to it. The quotient, which is the answer to a division problem. The dividend, which is the number we are dividing up. And the divisor, which is the number we divide by. Philip, sit up, please. Thank you. Sit up, please. Thank you. I don't want to see your head on your desk or on your arm on your desk. Okay. I've finished that one. See a few people finishing it up. So like I said, instead of having an example for each vocab word, we're going to have one big example that labels all three of these things in it. Mm-hmm. Are we ready to move on to the example? Okay, I'll give you another moment. Philip, sit up, please. Thank you. Okay, so example. When we have this problem, 24 divided by 6 equals 4. 24 is our dividend because that is the number we're dividing up. It's the larger number we're splitting up. 6 is our divisor. That's the number we are dividing by. And then 4 is the quotient because that is the answer to the division problem. 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So whenever we have a division problem, we have all three of these pieces. We have a divisor, we have a dividend, and we have a quotient. Put a thumbs up on your desk when you are ready to move on to our practice problem. Should be off. Is it helpful to you guys when I color code things like that? All right. So, practice. Let's label the practice section of our notes for today. So, we're going to have one word problem and the rest are just numbers, okay? So we're going to get the word problem done first, and then we will do numbers. In fact, I'm going to scoot up my notebook so that it is near the top of the screen. It is brighter on the smartboard, you're right. All right, practice. I'm waiting for voices to be off, please. Awesome. Okay, so practice. Like I said, we're going to have a word problem and then the rest are numbers. So here's our word problem. A bakery needs to make a batch of 198 bagels. Each baking sheet holds 18 bagels. How many sheets are needed? So a bakery needs to make a batch of 198 bagels. Each baking sheet holds 18 bagels. How many sheets are needed? But if you think about it, like if you own a bagel shop, you have to make a ton of bagels. Because a lot of people don't have bagels in mind. So they need to make a batch of 198 bagels. Each baking sheet holds 18 bagels. How many baking sheets are needed? Thumbs up on your desk and you have this first problem written down. And if you're done writing it, I want you to just think about for now, how you're going to solve this problem. How are you going to figure out how many baking sheets they need? Just think about it. You don't need to say it out loud or start solving it. Just think about it. Up, going down. Baking needs to make a batch of 198 bagels. Each baking sheet holds 18 bagels. How many sheets are needed? Alright, what I want you to do is think to yourself, first of all, what operation will we be using? So when I say operation, that means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Think to yourself, what operation am I going to need to use to figure out how many baking sheets they need? Alright, on the count of three, I want you to say that operation out loud. 1, 2, 3. Division. Now, we just learned or reviewed what a divisor and a dividend is. I want you to think. We have two numbers in this word problem. A bakery needs to make a batch of 198 bagels. Each baking sheet holds 18 bagels. Think to yourself, which of those numbers is the dividend? Which of those numbers is the divisor? Look back at your vocab if you need to remember what the dividend is and what the divisor is. So which of the two numbers is the divisor? Which one is the dividend? On the count of three, I want you to say which number is the dividend. Okay, on the count of three, the dividend. All right, 1, 2, 3. 198 is our dividend. That is the number we are dividing up, which means 18 is the what? What is 18? Divisor. It is the divisor. Okay. You are going to go ahead. When I say go, you are going to solve this word problem. Capiche? Voices should be off. Go ahead. Solve this word problem. Okay, done. Sit tight. I'm coming around. You can read if you want to. You also have AR books that will kind of do your symbols. Don't forget, since this is a word problem, think about what should also be a part of your answer. Don't say it out loud, but think about what should also be a part of your answer. When you're done, I'll know you're done if I see you quietly either waiting or quietly reading. give you a moment or so to finish the problem. Ready to rock. Ready to roll. All right, let's look at this one together. Okay. Pencil. Voices off, please. All right. So we determined the operation we're going to use is division. Our dividend was 198, and our divisor is 18. So we should have set up our division problem like this. How many of you set up your problem like this? Awesome. Remember, our dividend goes inside, our divisor goes outside. All right, so then we ask, can 18 go into 1? No, it can't, so we're not putting anything above the 1. Can 18 go into 19? Show me on your hand, how many times does 18 go into 19? It goes in once. And 18 times 1 is 18, so we subtract the 18. 19 minus 18 gets us 1. Then we bring down our 8. How many times does 18 go into 18? Show me on your hand. 18 goes into 18 one time. 18 times 1 is 18, so we subtract 18. We wind up with 0. Am I done with my answer?
No.
What am I missing? Raise your hand. What am I missing? What am I missing, Jackal? Baking sheets. That's my unit. Well, I was walking around, I saw some people put bagels. Were we finding the amount of bagels? No, we know how many bagels I need to make. We need to know how many sheets are needed. So 11 baking sheets. So you guys, if you're ever wondering, dang it, what is my unit? The problem will tell you. Figure out what question are you solving. We were solving how many sheets are needed. So if you just wrote 11 sheets, that would work too. Okay, and then I'm going to circle it since that is my final answer. All right. Yes, Mackenzie.
I did something different. We were solving it by the exact same answer.
Yes, that is totally okay. There's another method you may have been taught with division that works.
I did 18 times 10, that was 180. 180 plus 18 is 190. So 198.
Yep.
198 divided by 18 equals 11.
Yep. Awesome. That's great. Jackal. That's true. They could think it's bed sheets instead of baking sheets. All right. Now we have 3 just number problems. So let's get those written down. Yep, 3 number problems. So number 1 says 9,227 divided by 41. Number 2 is 7,704 divided by 24. Jack P, make sure you're writing this down. And you can come over to the standing desk if you'd like. And number 3, 5,643 divided by 24. As soon as you get these written down, you can begin solving them. Voices should be off. You can begin solving them.
How do we take off the digits?
So this one, you mean like bring them down? So we start, okay, 41 can't go in that. All right, guys, voices should be off. Please be trying not to make noise with your chair. If you have a question on one, you can bring your notebook over to me. Some of them may have remainders, yes. This one is a second. This one again. Yeah. So I brought it back. You should be solving the problem. Yeah, I am. You're not book traffic, that's right now. Voices should be off. Roll correct in the bottom right here. We're going to correct. I know that we may not have done all three, and that is okay, but I would like you to follow along with me. All right, so if you have a book out, I'd like you to set it aside. If you were doing something else while you were patiently waiting, also put that aside, please. Okay, so number 1, 41. Can it go into 9 fifth grade? No. Can it go into 92?
Yes.
Show me on your hand how many times. How many times? It goes in twice. So our 2 will go above the first 2. 41 times 2 is 82. So we subtract that from the 92. 82 minus 92, or excuse me, 92 minus 82 gets us 10. Then we bring down the next number. I know some people wanted to bring down the 7, or they wanted to bring down the 2 and the 7. We just keep working our way until we get to the last one. So we bring down the 2. 41 going into 102. If you had a hard time, like, oh, I don't know how many times, remember my trick. If we cover up the last digit in both of these numbers, we suddenly have 4 going into 10. Oh, there. 4 going into 10. 4 goes into 10 twice, so we can assume that probably 41 can go into 102 twice. And that is also true. Because 41 times 2 is 82. If we were to add on another 41, that would get us above 102. So we're going to subtract our 82 again. 2 minus 2 is 0. 10 minus 8 is 2. 20. Then we bring down our 7. And we could do our trick again. 41 going in 207 if we cover up the 7. And we cover up the 1. 4 goes into 20 how many times? How many times does 4 go into 20? 5 times. So we can assume that 41 can probably go into 207 5 times. Did you guys say it went in 5 times? Yes? All right. You are correct. 41 times 5 is 205. So we would subtract 205 from 207. We wind up the remainder of 2. So our answer should be 225 with the remainder of 2. I don't know why we are talking, but our voices do need to be off. Thank you. All right, then we have number 2. 24, can it go into 7? Can 24 go into 77? Show me on your hand, how many times does 24 go into 77? 3 times. 3. So our 3 would go above the second 7. 24 times 3. Who can raise their hand and tell me, what is 24 times 3? No one knows? Well, 72. Subtract 72. And then we wind up with 5. Bring down our 0. How many times does 24 go into 50? Show me on your hand. 24 goes into 50 twice. 2 times, so our 2 would go above the 0. 24 times 2 is 48. So we would subtract 48. Wind up with 2. Then we bring down our 4. How many times does 24 go into 24, 5th grade? 1 time. So we put our 1, subtract 24. Do we have a remainder for this one? Nope. So we get 321 as our answer. Yep, 3, 2, 1. Ready to rock? One more to correct. I'm going to move it this way. All right. Waiting for the sounds to be off. Thank you. 24. Can it go into 5?
No.
Can it go into 56?
Yes.
How many times? Show me on your hand. How many times does 24 go into 56? 2 times. Nice. 24 times 2 is 48, so we would subtract 48. When we're subtracting, we can't do 6 minus 8, so we would have borrowed from the 5, made that a 4. Made 6 into 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. And 4 minus 4 is 0. Then we would have brought down our 4. Now, how many times does 24 go into 84, 5th grade? Or show me on your fingers. How many times does it go in? I'm seeing lots of 3s. 3. What is 24 times 3?
72.
It is 72. So we would subtract 72. 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 7 is 1. Then we bring down our 3. Now, how many times do we think 24 can go into 123? Show me on your hand. How many times did you put it in? Okay. I see lots of 5s. Now, you guys, if you did my trick, like covering up the last digits, 2 and 12, 2 can technically go into 12 6 times, right? But you have to remember, it's 24. So if we did 24 times 6, that would most likely get you a number greater than 123. So it really only goes in 5 times. And if we were to go off to the side and multiply to see what that gets us, if we took 24 times 5, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 gets us 120. So we would have subtracted 120. So 123 minus 120 gets us 3. So we have a remainder of 3 for a total answer of 235, remainder 3. Ready to rock. I'd like everyone to either close their eyes or put their head down. You're going to show me anonymously your level of understanding with this. Now, close your eyes or put your head down. When I ask you, I know you may have gotten some of these practice problems incorrect, but I want you to reflect on, do you understand the steps? It could be you understand the steps and you understand what to do, but you are making silly mistakes. Does that mean you give yourself a 1? No. You don't, no, it doesn't mean you give yourself a 0, Jackie. 0 isn't even on our level of understanding, so I would never accept a 0 anyway. You need to reflect on, do you know the steps? Even if you're getting the answers wrong, do you know the steps? So, show me your level of understanding when just dividing 1 through 5. Go ahead, show me on your hand. 1 through 5. How are you feeling? Thank you for those of you who are between numbers and stuff. You're giving me like a 25, 23, 3, or 4. So show me a number. Okay. Hands down. Hands down. Open your eyes. Lift up your head. We are going to circle the problems we will be having for homework. So, I would like you to please open up to page 279. 279. Number 279.
Oh, we're dividing by decimals?
No.
Oh.
Yep, we're on 279. Waiting for voices to be off. You should be circling number 4. Number 8. Jackie, please stop talking. Number 14. Number 17. And number 20. So I'll say the numbers again. 279. Why are we talking 5th grade? You're circling number 4. We're on 279. Number 4. Number 8. Number 14. Number 17. And number 20. I'm going to give you some work time. So go ahead, start working on your math homework. I will turn on work music. Capiche?